way of planting, not reaping, and as you concentrate, an entire lifetime will pass before you know it. That's what people mean by settling down. Or do the opposite, and make earning money your only goal. Spend all your time thinking about how to make money, not about what you'll do with it when you make it, until you're on your deathbed, clutching a pile of gold coins like Monsieur Grandet, saying, "It warms me." The key to a wonderful life is a fascination with something. Me, for example, Dad pointed to the watercolors lying all over the room. They were done in a very traditional style, properly composed, but lacking all vitality. The paintings reflected the lightning outside like a set of flickering screens. I'm fascinated with painting, even though I know I can't be Van Gogh. That's right. Idealists and cynics may pity each other, but they're really both fortunate, Mom mused. Ordinarily all business, my mother and father had turned into philosophers, as if it were their own birthday we were celebrating. "Mom, don't move." I plucked a white hair out of my mother's thick black mane. Only half of it was white. The other half was still black. Dad held the hair up to the light and examined it. Against the lightning it shone like a lamp filament. "As far as I know, this is the first white hair your mother has had in her entire life. Or at least the first that's been discovered." "What are you doing? Pluck one and 7 will grow back," Mom said, giving her hair an exasperated toss. "Really? Well, that's life," Dad said. He pointed to the candles on the cake. "Suppose you take one of these small candles and stick it into a desert dune. If there's no wind, you may be able to light it. Then, leave. What would it feel like to watch the flame from a distance? My boy, this is what life is. Fragile and uncertain, unable to endure a puff of wind." The three of us sat in silence, looking at the cluster of flames as they shivered against the icy blue lightning that flashed through the window, as if they were a tiny life form that we had painstakingly raised. Outside, lightning flashed dramatically. This time, though, the arc came in through the wall, emerging like a spirit from an oil painting of a carnival of the Greek gods. It was about the size of a basketball and shone with a hazy red glow. It drifted gracefully over our heads, followed by a tail that gave off a dark red light. Its flight path was erratic, and its tail described a confusingly complicated figure above us. It whistled as it floated, a deep tone pierced with a sharp, high whine, calling to mind a spirit blowing a flute in some ancient wasteland. Mom clutched fearfully to Dad with both hands, an action I have looked back on in anguish my entire life. If she had not done that, I might have one relative left alive today. The thing continued to drift like it was looking for something. It finally stopped and found it. Hanging about half a meter over my father's head, its whistle became deeper and intermittent, like bitter laughter. I could see inside the translucent red blaze. It seemed infinitely deep, and a cluster of blue stars streamed out of the bottomless haze, like a star field seen by a spirit rocketing across space faster than the speed of light. Later, I learned that the internal energy density of this mass could have reached 20,000 to 30,000 joules per cubic centimeter, compared to just 2,000 joules per cubic centimeter for TNT. But while its internal temperature might have exceeded 10,000 degrees, its surface would be cool. My father lifted his hand, more to protect his head than to try to touch the thing. Fully extended, his arm seemed to exert an attractive force that pulled the thing toward it like a leaf's stomata, absorbing a drop of dew. With a blinding flash and a deafening boom, the world around me exploded. What I saw after the flash blindness lifted from my eyes would stay with me for the rest of my life. It was like someone had switched the world to grayscale mode in an image editor.